All right, so if you're looking to start your seeds outside, you're in the right place. The first thing we have to do is to prepare the plot where we're going to plant them. So I'm going to start by working up some of the soil so it's a nice loose structure for the seeds to grow in. I have that done over here in the area that I'm already going to start my plants. And I want to make sure that there are no weeds in here. That way they don't have to compete with the seeds to grow. So I'm going to pick out all of the weeds. The next thing is to plan out where we want to start our seeds. So I have a plan started here for a 2-foot by 2-foot garden, and that's really all the space that you need to be able to plant at least one of every seed. So we're gonna start now planting the seeds, and I'm gonna start with the spinach. So I'm gonna plant, I want 1 spinach plant, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab 3 little spinach seeds. That way at least one of them will germinate. And I have a space here in the corner of my garden. And I'm gonna go ahead and plant all 3 in the same spot, and then cover them up with about 1/2 inch of soil. Then, to remember where I planted them, I add a little stake, and we'll water them at the end with all the others. Next, we're going to move on to lettuce in this little corner that I have worked up. For the lettuce, you're going to take a little pinch of your lettuce seeds and really just sprinkle them in, and they're kind of hard to see, but that's okay. Then we're just going to cover them with a light dusting of soil. It could be about 1/4 inch. You don't want to plant them too deep or they won't come up. They'll be too deep to come up out of the soil. Again, find our label and put it in there next to them. That way we know where we planted them. Next up, in this corner of my garden, I'm going to plant my peas. And I want 2 pea plants. So I'm going to plant 2 cells or 2 holes for peas. So I have a little row started here. I'm going to plant 2 pea seeds on the one side. And then peas need to be planted about 2 inches apart. So plant the other 2 about 2 inches from there. And this little row that I have dug is about 1.5 inches deep. So I'm going to cover the entire thing with soil. Peas get planted at 1.5 inches deep and about 2 inches apart. And then again, use my stake to label where I planted my peas. Next up, I want to plant my carrots right beside them. So I have a little row here for my carrots, and I'm going to take again a little pinch of carrot seeds. These ones are small enough that you don't have to count out the individuals. I'm going to do a light sprinkle of them just along this row. And then cover these ones up with about 1/2 inch of soil. So again, not too deep, but still giving them enough space that they can grow. Eventually we'll thin those out so they're not that close together. But for now, we'll let them go. And again, label them so I know where my row of carrots are. The last thing we have to plant is beans, and I have a space for my beans set up here, but beans like warm weather, so it's not time to plant our beans yet. So we can take our bean seeds, set them aside with our other seeds, and plant them later about mid-May. So now we have our garden space set up. The last thing to do is give them water so we can break down the seed coats and start the germination process. So you can use a spray bottle like this, or any other cup, a watering can to water your seeds. And now we're set.